We did it. 1,000 subscribers. When I started back at this in January, I mean, that was a long off dream away. And to do it in just under 10 months is just astounding. I never thought I'd even get close to it. Thank you to everybody who watches the videos, everybody who comes on the rides, everyone who runs the rides, some of the Tuesday night rides, and for everybody who supports on Buy Me a Coffee, whether that's channel membership or just one-off donations. It's amazing to get to this stage, and I'm so happy. I'd feel a little bit happier. I've been a little bit under the weather, which I'll cover off in a minute, but yeah, as I said, I didn't expect to ever get here, so thank you so much. On the topic of doing the 25 laps of the volcano, which was the plan potentially for today is Sunday. It was going to be the plan of doing the 25 laps when we hit that number of subscribers. Unfortunately, I've not been very well this week, and it couldn't have come at a worse time in terms of when the channel hit the 1,000, because it initially hit, I think it was Wednesday. It might have been Thursday, and it was the day that I really wasn't feeling very well. So I will do that 25 laps at some point in the next couple of weeks when I am feeling better. On the topic of not feeling very well, so it was Sunday night, I got a bit of a bad headache, but by the time I woke up on Monday, it had gone. I just thought it was a headache that had passed. Roll forward to Monday sort of afternoon into evening, I was sat in here doing some work, and I just started to get really hot and heady. And I thought it was quite warm in the room. I thought if I just cooled myself down, I'd be okay. I kind of did. Felt a bit better after getting out and getting some air and stuff. But woke up on Tuesday feeling shivery, hot 1 minute for a couple of minutes. Finally recover from that and then go cold a little bit later. Just hot and cold spells throughout the day. And aches. You know when you have a cold sometimes and you're recovering from it and you ache everywhere and you just have lack of energy and that sort of thing. That is what I had, and I thought, oh, I've just got a cold, I'll be over it in a couple of days, you know, just something to get over. And then on Wednesday I woke up and the aches had kind of gone, and I thought, oh, that's not too bad. But it had dropped to my lower back, and I was sat working for the day and I was really quite uncomfortable. It was sort of affecting my back and giving me stomach cramps at the same time, and I couldn't work out whether it was stomach cramps causing the back or the other way around. But I made the decision. I'm very, very lucky to have access to an online GP through my work. So I had an appointment at 10:30 on Wednesday evening via an app with a GP consultant. That call didn't even last 4.5 minutes, where I told him my symptoms, and he said, it's your lower back. You need to get yourself to a walk-in centre or an A&E centre if you haven't got one as soon as possible. My first reaction is, I think you've got that a bit wrong. It's hurting a bit, but it's not that serious. And I thought he'd overreacted, and it only lasted 4.5 minutes. But after coming off the call, having a chat with my wife, I did think, well, I can't just ignore him. I can't not do what he's asked me to do, because if I'm then not very well, that's not a very clever thing to do. However, I did feel that I'd be wasting the NHS's time and time in A&E. But I did what I was told. Got to the hospital about 11:20, to be told there was a long wait. And I got called in quite quickly to see the nurse. They took blood tests and just took my seat in the waiting room. It took, I think it was 8.5 hours. I was sat there all through the night, obviously no sleep, just sat in the same chair. I got up a few times to walk around, go to the toilet, all of those sorts of things. But finally got seen by the doctor, and I must say from this point they were brilliant. The doctor looked at the blood test, says there's a minor infection spotted in my bloods, but she kind of thought it was just a small infection that wouldn't need any sort of antibiotics. It was just a virus, and it would just a couple of days rest and it will be gone. And I thought, well, that's kind of what I was expecting. But she said, I'm going to send you for a chest. She did some tests, and she found out on my left side that it was slightly quieter apparently than my right. So she wanted to send me for some x-rays just to get that checked out. One rather annoying thing that did happen is I did a urine test partway through the middle of the night, which they lost, which at that moment she asked me to do it again, so I did. Gave that to her before going for the x-ray, came back and just sat in the bed waiting to see her, and she came back in after testing the sample and found that there was signs of infection that would probably lead to some antibiotics, but she wanted to send me, there was a thought that it might be a kidney stone forming because it was round the back of my kidneys, so they wanted to send me for a CT scan, which is I've never done before, and that's probably a very expensive machine. But I was only in there for a couple of minutes, had a CT scan, came back again, and essentially the doctor came in and said all the scans were clear, and the only thing they can really think it is some sort of kidney and kidney infection or bladder infection. So I've left the hospital probably about 11 o'clock on Thursday with some antibiotics to take, which I've been taking ever since. I've had a couple of nights where I've just laid in bed. This isn't very nice, sorry, just sweating for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And I've woken up and I've just been soaked through. I've put a t-shirt on to try and stop it, soaking into the bed and stuff. So obviously not quite clear of it yet. I had the same last night, but I do feel more human today. I've been really tired, especially since taking the antibiotics. So they're obviously kicking in and doing what they need to do. Felt a little bit of nausea at some points, a little bit of discomfort in the stomach. Yeah, slight change to toilet habits, but all in all, feeling a little bit more human today. I've got to take them through till Thursday. So that is the story of where I've been. It's not an amazing story. I still think that there was a slight overreaction by the GP, and maybe I could have gone to my GP the next day and just had some tests that could have come back a few days later. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I guess they thought something could be more serious, so it's better to get checked than not. So with all that in mind, I'm probably not going to get on the bike until at least Thursday. My antibiotics I don't finish until Friday morning. So yeah, I'm gonna stay off the bike for a while, unless I genuinely start to feel a lot better and stop having these hot, sweaty moments where I can just feel more myself, really. I want to say a huge thank you to Chris Jupp for contacting me and saying, do you want me to run your rides on Saturday and Sunday? Where I could have, to be honest, if I hadn't been so tired, I would have set them up and invited people and all that stuff. I just felt drained. I didn't really move from the sofa. Yesterday I went out very briefly to the shop that's literally over the road from us, and I couldn't. I got back and I had to sit down. I was so drained. So I want to say a huge thank you for Chris for picking that up and running with those rides. It's so amazing. Go back to the 1,000 subscribers. We've got an incredible group of supportive people. A incredible group of people have achieved a lot of stuff on Zwift or outside of Zwift, especially in the recent months that we've been going. So it's so good to have that supportive group around everybody in the group. So thank you. Another thing that happened during the week, I received a parcel from Slovakia. And in this parcel was something from PETA. And PETA does a lot of laser cutting of wood and plastics and stuff. That some of the stuff is incredible. And I'm being honest, it arrived earlier in the week and I didn't open it till yesterday because I just didn't feel up to it. But he has sent me a couple of different things that are awesome. So number one, he has sent me this awesome little light up ride-on thumb with Target 2.5 and the symbol on there and a lovely outline of my face, which I'm just going to sit up on there. It's amazing just to have that little bit of Target 2.5 stuff. So thank you, PETA. Another thing he sent me, and actually it's showing, I don't know whether you can see it, it's blue at the moment, but it can cycle through different colours as well. So I'll be leaving that on the blue colour. And then another thing that he sent, and this was cut out in wood, I have, because YouTube don't give out plaques for for 1,000 subscribers. He has done one in wood for me. Look at that. I am so chuffed with that. Just the symbol and then target 2.5 and 1,000 subscribers underneath. And I'm going to stick that on the wall somewhere. I don't quite know where yet. I love that. That is amazing. And that's something I'm going to treasure for forever, because it means so much to get to that number. It's amazing. Peta also sent another one. And this one is the inverse of that one. So you can see that it's carved out in a different place. But I'm going to give that one away. So I need to think of a question, which I haven't done yet. So keep an eye out in next Sunday's video. I'll put a question in there, and then you guys can answer it to enter the competition, and then I'll pick a winner at random and send it out to you. So yeah, a huge thank you to Peta. I love them, they're amazing. And this light is probably going to go up on there somewhere so that it can be in the videos too. So Peta, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Last thing to talk about is this week's rides. Unfortunately, Andy cannot make Tuesday night. So given that I'm not 100%, we're probably not going to run a ride on Tuesday night. Do keep a slight eye on Facebook or Discord, because that might change closer to the time. But as it stands at the moment, we won't be running that ride. This week is a 5 Thursday month. So this Thursday, we will go just to do a normal T2.5 race with the split start times between the categories. I'll pick a route and I'll put that on there as well. And then on Saturday, we'll have our Bandy group ride. Again, I'll put out invites and stuff in the usual place. If you've never joined us before, come along. I'll go back to it again. It's become such a friendly, supportive, incredible group that I can't believe has come from me blabbling to a video once every week or so. So thank you so much to everybody. Details of those rides are in the comments below. There's a join up option to go to Google Forms, where you just click on there, fill in your details, and then you'll get a meetup invite sent to you. Or if you come more regularly or intend to, you can join Spond, because then you'll automatically get an invite sent out via the Spond app, which you can accept or reject, and then I'll send out an invite from Zwift from there. So either of those two options, both easy peasy. Details in the description below. But thank you for watching this rather brief update on my week. Fingers crossed I continue to keep getting better, and I can get back on the bike towards the end of the week. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday.